Hey, what up? It's Crusade, and today we're going to be going back to Survivors. I've been doing a lot of killer videos, but we're going to be doing a little bit more on Survivor, especially with window vaulting getting nerfed, and it's going to be getting nerfed again pretty soon. So I figure Survivors are going to be struggling a little more. But I did get a couple of matches in that were pretty high rank. All the Survivors are like rank 1 or 2 or something like that, and the killers were single digits. One match, the first match is going to be with the Wraith, the second match is going to be with the Hillbilly. So no Trapper killer, although to be honest, if you want to play well against the Trapper, just have the small game perk. And actually I feel like small game is a really good perk just to have all the time, just because the Trapper, at least right now, is the strongest killer, so you want to have something to kind of counter him, and small game is definitely going to do that. And if you don't know what small game does, it basically allows you to see his traps within a 2 meter to 4 meter, 6 meter range, respectively, depending on the rank 1, 2, and 3. Of course, that's quite a bit better than slippery meat. Slippery meat allows you to get out of his traps a little easier, but you'd rather just not get in his traps altogether. So small game is definitely really good, because I know I've been running from the Trapper, and I mean normally against the Trapper you want to be scouting for his traps and whatnot, but if you're running from him because he's chasing you and then he forces you to run through a patch of grass and there just happens to be a trap in there and you get trapped, and then I mean that's a hook, you get hooked because of that. So having small game so you can at least see the trap coming and try to avoid it or whatever is good. It doesn't, I mean, if you can spot a trap at a choke point, like at like a pallet pull down or a window, but the trap is still effective because, I mean, it just means you can't take that window and you have to change your game plan, and you're probably going to get hit because of that. So it's not like small game is overpowered or anything. I mean, it is really strong, but I wouldn't say it's overpowered, and I feel like the traps are just really strong because small game does feel, at least for me, like almost a necessity. Just because some of the random traps I get hit by. But that's enough talking. We're gonna go ahead and get into this first game here. Okay, so as you can see, pretty high-ranked surviving team, and I am bringing a toolbox into this match. I do just kind of like to bring, whatever item I have a lot of, because it's a waste if your items just sit in your inventory. So try not to stockpile and actually try to use your items every once in a while. But I do like to have a few handy in case I want to use an add-on or something like that. Alright, Coal Tower is a pretty good map. Probably the hardest map is Sheltered Woods. So if you get on Sheltered Woods, all I can do is really pray for you, because there's not a whole lot you can do on that map. There's only the shack and like maybe 1 or 2 pallets, it feels like. So definitely have to be really stealthy on that map. This map is not that bad because the Coal Tower is pretty good to run to, and I mean there's a couple of windows there. So when you're on a generator, you definitely want to look around a little bit first and then get on the generator. And right there we saw a teammate get injured a few seconds ago, and when you're like walking around, you definitely always want to walk around so you don't give the killer a lead like with scratch marks. But if you see someone get injured, you can start running around, and you want to start doing stuff right away because you know he's preoccupied. But I didn't really have to get off the generator there, but I was worried that he'd be walking around. But I figured he's preoccupied because he just got hit in on someone. But yeah, he just walks by there, and because that area was so enclosed, I felt really blind in there, so I wanted to get to that corner so I could look around. And of course, the killer came around from the inside, and I probably would have been caught off guard if I was staying on that generator. But he walked right into that pallet, and I was camping that pallet as well. But I didn't overreact and throw down the pallet, and I would have alerted him I was there. But I go back to this generator here. So one thing that when you're on a pallet pull down, don't just stand there like right in the middle of the pull down, because he's gonna see you camping it, and he's gonna go towards it to bait you into pulling it down, and then he's gonna back up so he doesn't get stunned. So you want to kind of like hide a little bit next to the pallet, and then as soon as he's like walking into it, you want to pull it down to catch him off guard. So you get that stun. And of course we saw a player get hooked in the basement, and the killer just completely left him, and he's a Wraith, he's invisible. It's such an easy unhook. Teammate beat me to it though, so we're just gonna get out of there. And of course there's a generator right there. You don't want to just jump on that, because you know the killer's gonna be coming back. He should be coming back at any time. We see another player get injured, and the thing about being a good survivor team, you definitely want to be always helping each other out. If, like right here, you know, two people can heal an injured player, so if you see someone healing an injured player, don't just stand around, you can get your points too. And, you know, a good survivor team is always going to be helping each other out when they can, you know, heal each other and whatnot. If someone gets hooked in the basement like that, I mean, you do want to try and help them. Like, we did get that unhook, but you need to be smart about it. You need to identify if they're being camped or not. Obviously, that Wraith just ran away from it completely, so we jumped on that unhook pretty fast. So that's definitely important to... I mean, if someone gets hooked, what I'm trying to say is that you can't always 100% unhook them, but you need to be ready if the killer makes a mistake and just leaves them. So if he gives you that opportunity, you need to take advantage of that, definitely. If he gets greedy and tries to leave. And as a killer, of course, you could always patrol back, and I would advise that, you know, leave a little bit, try to bait someone into trying to rescue, and then come back to, you know, get some more damage in. Teammate got hit there. Of course, we were working on that coal tower generator, and that generator is always good and easy to get. I would not get that one first. Maybe, you know, we were getting it at the 3rd generator mark. It's always good to get as like one of the last few, because this area is pretty safe. I mean, obviously it's kind of high profile in the sense that the killer knows you're going to be around here taking that, but it's safe because you have windows right below you, and you can, I mean, at least in this current version of the game, you can use those windows pretty easily. I try not to use the same window more than once though, and I would advise you to do the same, because they are going to be, as I've said, nerfing window vaulting. So, because they have acknowledged that they have nerfed it a little bit, but they haven't. They said that it's still not weak enough, I guess you could say. They haven't nerfed it enough. So again, I don't know what the killer's up to, so I'm walking around here, because I don't want to leave scratch marks, because I know you can see those from far away. And we're just going to be looking for the last generator here. It looks like we're going to be able to get this one, so we're just going to get on that. I do have a little bit of toolbox charge I could use, but I don't want to start using it and then get a skill check and then I have to cancel because I don't want to use up my toolbox, so I use the left click. Plus there's 2 of us, so it's going by pretty fast. I mean, we're only been on it for a few seconds. No sign of the killer yet. And exit gates are powered. And of course we're right next to this, so we're going to jump on it, but you know, he was right there. Barely make it through that window. That was pretty risky, and I go for something even dumber. I knew that pallet was there. I was trying to go beat him there or something, or maybe juke around him, but ended up taking a hit. So it's definitely somewhat of a bad decision there. So run up to the coal tower because I know it's pretty safe, and I know he's probably hot on my trail, so I just keep running. And I spot this pallet over here, and you know, of course I'm hiding near a pallet, and to get that stun. And all that time, like, that I was waiting near the pallet and getting that stun, that's bought time for my sprint. My sprint boost is back up. Going back to the coal tower again a little bit. I do use one window vault, although it was the slow one. Teammate sabotaging a hook for probably just for points. I think you get like 1,000 boldness for sabotaging a hook, so which is the same as a stun, so I guess that's good to know. And of course this other gate was already open, so pretty much won. I'm sticking around a little bit just to make sure everyone like makes it out, but probably shouldn't be sticking around because I am the injured player. And there's one other player left because the other guy escaped, so I escaped because I don't see him, and I figure maybe he's going for the escape hatch. So I want that escape hatch to open for him, so I escape, and it's like if the last player is alive, the escape door opens, escape hatch opens, and the other players don't need to be killed. It just has to be the last player on the map. So I do leave so that I can open for him. And that was that game. I got my rank 1 back. And pretty straightforward. Everyone escaped. Kind of a mistake on the Wraith's part for not guarding that hooked player a little closer, but we're going to go ahead and get in the second game here against the Hillbilly. Alright, triple meg going in this next game here, and I am bringing a flashlight, which is kind of useless, like, but I have like a bajillion flashlights, so I just figured I'd bring it just to, I don't know, throw it on the ground or something. Alright, so Auto Haven Wreckers, pretty good map. There's usually a lot of pallets or whatever here. It spawned right next to the school bus. The school bus is kind of like the coal tower. It's pretty safe. It's probably not as good as the coal tower, but it's still pretty safe regardless. So this generator is pretty safe, and it's not the best idea to start getting this generator first. Of course the killer is already nearby, but this generator you probably want to save for like one of the last few at least. But we do end up getting this generator, and the killer here is chasing my teammate here, and I'm sneaking around because, you know, I don't want to draw attention to myself. And while he's being distracted, you know, I definitely want to use that time wisely and get something done. And of course he gets downed. It's really unfortunate, but I mean he's still distracted technically, so definitely want to keep using it time wisely as he transports our teammate. Again, not the best getting this generator first or second in this case, but I don't want to be wasting time looking around for a generator. But teammate does manage to wiggle free, it looks like, so that's not too bad. Probably not the best that he ran to us. Luckily I have sprint burst up, so move a little bit, and I do duck behind this rock without like straight running away, because I do know these vaults are here. And breaking line of sight with the killer is a pretty strong weapon to use, even if you think he knows where you're at. Dropping predictable pallets, but it does buy you a little bit of time even if you don't get a stun. And I'm going to drop this pallet pretty early here, just kind of just to block his path a little bit. Peeked a little too far there and he spotted me, but going to keep breaking line of sight here, staying next to this next pallet, trying to hide a little bit, but it's not quite enough. He already knew. He started to charge up his chainsaw, so I'm just gonna run away here. Go to this other window vaulting area, and I'm not looking behind me. Yeah, I kind of lose track of the killer here. It's a pretty big mistake, because I think he's coming from the inside or the left side, but he flanks me on the right side. Should have been looking out for that, but I do get punished for my carelessness. And just kind of trying to break line of sight when I'm running away. So you see me ducking behind trees. I'm just trying to break line of sight as much as possible, even if he knows where I'm at and he's chasing me, because any little bit can help. And I saw sprint burst coming up, so I didn't jump through that window. But now that it's gone, I decided to jump through them. And I don't want to use window vaulting too much, but I mean they are there for a reason, so you do want to use them some, because it is pretty paramount to keeping yourself alive. Same with these pallets. He gets stunned, but I don't know, he eats the pallet with a stun. I think it's an add-on or something. Not entirely sure. But again, just trying to buy my team time, and you know, these are high rank survivors, so they get a lot done, and the exit gate's already powered. So I get that adrenaline heal with that. And I'm already next to exit gate. The other exit gate's over there. And this is pretty good because you want some survivors on one exit gate and some on the other. That way, if the killer leaves or gets distracted with one of the exit gates, the players in the other exit gate can open that one. So definitely good to have at least one survivor on each exit gate. Especially against the Hillbilly, because I mean, he has to chainsaw back and forth. That could be pretty tedious for him. It's a lot worse for the Wraith, because I mean, what can the Wraith do? He just walks back and forth in between them. At least the Hillbilly can sprint, and the Trapper can lay a trap at one of the levers. So I was just running around, really just waiting for a good opportunity to go in and pull down the lever. Definitely don't want to get over eager or anything. Definitely just wait for a good opportunity. See, like, he's turning to leave there, so I'm walking in and start to work on this a little bit. And you don't need to open it on the first go. You definitely don't want to get greedy and try and just open it. So I stop at about halfway and I start running away just to be careful, breaking line of sight. And he doesn't, of course he doesn't want to spend too much time looking for one person, because he has the other survivors on that other exit gate that could just open it. So he actually can't commit too much here. And he stopped right at my rock, so I figured he knew where I was. But that might have been coincidence, I'm not sure. But as I walk back to this rock, basically I'm just going to wait for him to sprint to my door like he's there, and then once he walks away is when I'm going to start trying to work on it again. Again, biding my time, because we're in no rush. The killer is the one being pressed really hard right now because he has 4 survivors up and exit gates are powered. That's pretty much worst case scenario. And he is doing, you know, his best. He's doing a pretty good job at swatting the flies away, so to speak. But it's not what's going to get him a sacrifice or two. He is trying to be kind of greedy a little bit, trying to keep everyone away and not just committing to one person. But of course, as soon as he patrols away, we're able to open that gate. And of course, I don't want to stick around for too long because he could just chainsaw and put me into dying, so I just decided to escape. And that was some high-ranked survivor matches. Pretty straightforward, pretty short matches, because the killer is on a timer based on the generators, and the survivors at high ranks are going to work really fast. So these matches are going to be pretty short, either one way or the other, unless the killer does get a lot of early damage, but that wasn't the case. Alright, and since those matches were pretty fast, I'm going to go ahead and throw in another bonus match. If you remember, last time I did a killer video deaf playing music. I'm going to be doing that for the survivor, and I think it's way harder as a survivor. But hopefully you guys enjoy this match. And let me know what you guys think. I made a straw poll, so visit that straw poll link and vote. Let me know if you like this sort of thing. And I will see you guys in the next video.
Take a chance, take a chance.